final interlude, and I'm joined by our film critic, Lisa Nesselson. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Claire.
Now, American animator Bill Plympton has a new feature, and it's called Cheating. This may be a cartoon, but it's not for kids, just, is it?
Not really. This is adult animation at its finest. Plympton writes, directs, and animates gleefully surreal tales that make you feel like you've been invited inside the imagination of a very weird, very imaginative guy. This movie is unabashedly sexy in the sense that sex makes the world go round. And Plympton is a one-man band who has managed to remain independent. Terry Gilliam, for example, has always been a fan of his. So are a lot of other people. He was able to raise $100,000 in a crowdfunding effort on Kickstarter, and I think that's interesting because they only asked for $75,000. And Kickstarter was surprised that so many of the donations came from here in Europe. I also really like the French title, which is Les Amants Électriques, or the Electric Lovers, and that would be in the sense of passion so strong it's like sticking your finger in an electrical socket.
So apparently there's no dialogue, but there is a story. What's the film about?
There is no dialogue, that's true, but the sound effects literally could not be better. And the musical score by Nicole Renaud is fab. Nicole Renaud. It's the story of gorgeous Ella and hunky Jake, and Sparks fly the minute they meet. They get married, he works at the gas station, and they're deliriously happy together. But their love is so intense that when a mercenary floozy who has her sights set on stealing Jake shows Jake trumped up evidence that Ella has been cheating on him, the couple takes on absolutely murderous tones. It's a terrific illustration of that old expression, you can't live with him, can't live without him, and it's funny as well as freewheeling and uninhibited, in addition to the inventive sex scenes, some of which may be slipping by as we watch. There's singing vegetables in the refrigerator, and a fish who, shall we say, gets taken for a ride. Let's take a closer look.
With you, I want to go offshore, drift away.
Another question for you.
This looks like old-fashioned animation, the kind that starts with a pencil.
Indeed it does. And while computer animation has its own qualities, there's really nothing that beats that sort of hand-drawn look to it. There's a fluidity in hand-drawn animation that I just love. Plympton started as an illustrator, and he always loved the look of pencil and ink and watercolor, but he wasn't really able to exploit that on the big screen until now. And there are about 40,000 of his drawings in this film.
It looks good. I think I'll be checking that one out. Now, we don't often have a good excuse to incorporate theatre into our movie show, but Paris is hosting a run in English of the Edinburgh Fringe hit Casablanca, and apparently it's a comedy, although the original film wasn't funny at all, really, was it?
No, we think of Casablanca, we don't think funny, but this is indeed a comedy, and it's about how we suspend our disbelief at the movies, and personally, I would say not one joke or gag falls flat. It's that well done. If you've seen the Humphrey Bogart Ingrid Bergman film at least once, you're in for 1 hour of rip-roaring theater, and not just any theater. Le Déjazet here in Paris has been there since 1770, and legend has it that Marie Antoinette actually hid out there at some point when she was fleeing Versailles. So it seems like a fitting place for a show about desperate characters in Casablanca who need letters of transit during World War II. France 24 went to see the show, in which 3 very talented actors play all the roles. Let's take a look.
Kiss me as if it were the last time.
And freeze!
A Hollywood classic with a comic twist.
It was raining heavily.
Casablanca, the play brought to Paris for 11 nights. A dream come true for the actors.
We're now here in Paris with Good Paris. But every time we do it, we think, that's it, finished. We generally think, fantastic. So we were in Barbados last year going, what a great way to finish. Yeah. And then we get a phone call, you're going to France.
Yeah. Some spectators that night hadn't even watched the original. They got more than they bargained for, with all the movie's classic lines.
What about us?
Well, I was in Paris.
Now, of course, if you know the movie, you'll notice an essential character is missing. Sam, the pianist, replaced by his mini-me version. Production couldn't afford a fourth man on stage.
Un billet doux à l'un des plus grands films de notre temps. Une lettre d'amour, si vous voulez.
Lines in French added to the script, a special treat for the Parisian crowds.
How's your French in real life?
Awful. I mean, I have no idea what I'm saying. I have no idea if people understand it.
I mean,
that's the most scary thing, actually. And I mean, I stumble sometimes over some of the words, but generally they get the idea.
A lot better than us.
But for Rick and Ilsa, the biggest challenge was staying true to the original.
And Casablanca, to many people, it's like the family jewels. So you're very aware you're playing with a huge part of people's history that they love. So you've got to be very, very careful.
But for now, we transport you to Casablanca.
It's not that easy, after all, carrying Humphrey Bogart's legacy.
I'm willing to shoot Captain Reno, and I'm willing to shoot you. All right, Major, you asked for it.
Right, that's it for Culture. Thank you very much, Lisa. See you next week.
Absolutely.
All right, see you then. All right, time now for our sports roundup.